Hi, I'm Derek Milligan. I'm the Democratic candidate for the Kansas House of Representatives in District 94. This is going to be my second policy video where I go in depth on some of my policy proposals. This video is going to be going over the right to repair. The right to repair deals with the fundamental concept of, do you actually own the product after you purchase it? What I mean by that is a lot of companies have started to make it very difficult or impossible to tweak products that you buy after you purchase them. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about how John Deere makes it impossible to do home repairs on your own tractor after you purchase it. Now the reason they do this is they want you to go to their own approved repair station where they can charge an exorbitant price and they then recoup that profit. And when you do repairs on your own, then they don't see any of that extra money. And to a lot of companies, that's unacceptable. And this has become an increasingly seen hostile design method where either through computer programming or proprietary hardware, companies are just making it downright impossible to be able to repair or improve products after you've already purchased them. Another particularly egregious example of a company trying to pull the rug out from someone who's already purchased their product was a case out of California recently where Tesla actually remotely deactivated features of one of their cars after they realized that it had been sold in the secondhand market. So a buyer went and bought a Tesla that had the autopilot feature, which the company then removed, arguing that this is not the person who purchased the autopilot, the original owner was. And so the second person ends up with an inferior product, and they had no idea that that was going to happen. Obviously, they wouldn't have paid so much money for a car that didn't have the features they wanted. And so the right to repair umbrella captures all of these effects. The actual right to repair your product and the ability to know what you're buying when you buy it and to have control over what happens with something after you purchase it. Now luckily, these shenanigans haven't gone unnoticed. DIY hobbyists have started writing right to repair legislation and trying to suggest that states pass laws. A few states have passed them already, but it's a work in progress. I want to see Kansas adopting this early and becoming a good place for consumers, especially with our large percentage of farming economy. I know our farmers have been getting really upset with companies like John Deere for forcing them to use the expensive proprietary repair methods that they allow. Now, in 2017, House Bill 2112 was introduced in Kansas. It was brought into the Committee on Federal and State Affairs, a committee which has 16 Republican members and 7 Democratic members. Now, despite the legislation being introduced, it actually never even got brought up for debate. And this is a committee that's Republican controlled. They choose what comes to the table, what gets voted on, and what gets passed. Now, they decided that this was not an issue worth pursuing. That doesn't sound very consumer friendly to me. That doesn't sound like they're being friendly to their farmer constituents to me. So what should we do about it? As voters, as consumers, we want to see right to repair passed. We need to let our legislators know that this is a priority for us, that if another bill comes up that has this topic, we want to see it debated, we want to see it voted on, and we want to see it passed, instead of just letting it sit and languish like the Republicans in the Committee on Federal and State Affairs did in 2017. Now, if you're in District 94, you can vote for me. I will be supporting right to repair and any other legislation that is good for Kansas workers.